Hi everyone, Cheryl here. It is Tuesday, the 8th of February 2023, and I believe this is my second video of the year, so welcome. I've got there's another one. I found another one. 4 finished objects to show you, 2 of which you've seen last video in my video 23.1. Oh yes, so this is the second video this year. But it's one of them's like the big sibling and the little sibling, that sort of thing. And the other 2 are completely different. And I will tell you about them. So, first of all, can you see where I am? I'm somewhere different. And see how that shelf, the bookcase behind me, is populated. I'm moving into my craft room. It's taking time. And things aren't sorted out. I will show you the shelving, but I won't put a lot of focus on there because I'm still sorting it out and I don't know where to sort it out yet. I've basically got to unearth everything from that room, and in some of the cupboard downstairs, bring it out into the open to expose it and actually see what I've got so I can better organise it. So things are on the shelves in various places, but I don't think they're going to stay there. I might have a move around, and I still need to get those IKEA boxes, the fabric ones. So for the moment I'll just talk about the finished projects. So another Marianna Lazy Dizzy Days, supposedly lacy vest top but without the lace. So I'll just flip these over. There we go. Now this is the little sibling of the one I showed you last video in 23.1 because I didn't have enough yarn to do a bigger one still, so I did a small one. And there's a tiny bit of yarn left over, and I'm looking over there, can't see where it is now. I thought I'd make a baby hat, but I think I've only got 18 grams. But I can add white, and I just found the white, I think. I'll have to check, see if it's the same, see if it's DK. Anyway, so there's that, that's beautiful. So I'm going to give that to my friend tomorrow at Knit and Natter. Alright, the second project is, let me have a look what it's called. The Travelling Lines knit hat. Now you will have seen my completed Travelling Lines knit hat, the first one, in my video 22.3. It was the last video of year 2022, and what I was talking about there was I was knitting another one but bigger, and it was at the experimental stage because I didn't know what the crown decreases would look like, but I'm happy to say it worked. So here it is, it's slightly bigger. So you go for a larger size head, and there is the crown. So while I'll put it in the description box, I will just reiterate what I did. So this Travelling Lines knit hat, I will put the link in the description. The original stitch count of the original hat is 100 stitches, and you increase to 120 after the brim. Okay, and you have a pattern of knit so many stitches, make one. Well, what I figured out was, since the pattern repeat was 8 stitches wide, I needed to end on a multiple of, is it a multiple of 8? Okay, I decided I'd add in another pattern repeat, 8 stitches wide, so I needed to end at 128 stitches. So I figured out I'd need to cast on 112 stitches, which is what I did. And for the increase after the brim, I knit 7 and make 1. And then I got to the point where I was able to follow the pattern and then follow the crown decreases. But the thing is, you have to do one more set of crown decreases because you've got more stitches. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. So I will put what I did in the description box. So if you were going to do that pattern, you want to do a bigger version, that's what you would do. So I hope that helps. The third project I'm going to show you, it's more of a scarflet than a scarf, because the yarn I'm using was something I used back in video 14.1 on a loom knit hat. I doubled it up. It had 2 skeins, so I must have had about 200 grams, and I had 2 skeins, and I doubled it up, I think. Yeah. And then I did a loom knit hat, and I just basically knit with what was left. So it's ended up as a scarflet, and it's here. It's a nice, lovely rib effect, and I will explain what that is. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. But you can see it's not a huge scarf. You can't wrap it around you too many times. There. So that's where it would come to. So you can tuck it under you can wrap it around and then tuck it under your coat. That's quite sufficient. Okay, so what this pattern is, it's so easy. It's a 1 row repeat. Alright, so it's worked over a multiple of 4 stitches, and all you do is knit 2, knit 1 through the back loop, and then purl 1. So knit 2, knit 1 through the back loop, and then purl 1. And when you get to the end, you turn around, you do it exactly the same again. Knit 2, knit 1 through the back loop, and purl. That's it. It's fantastic. And the fourth item that I showed you, I knit a little hat on the Addy, the little Addy, and that's all it was. It's just a baby hat, and it's double. Actually, I wouldn't do double because it looks different inside, but there you go. But it's double thickness. That's just random. I need to wash that because I've just had a sniff and I thought I haven't washed that yet. Okay, I'll do that. Right, I'll just quickly spin you around and move my phone out the way. I don't want to knock it over by mistake. And I'll just show you very quick, very quick, because I don't want to focus on anything because nothing's going to stay where it is, apart from that behind me. So that's that bookshelf. No, it's not a bookshelf, it's a bookcase, sorry. I keep getting those two things mixed up. A bookshelf is just a single shelf, isn't it? A bookcase is a whole unit. Right, so that's, there you go, that's the top of it. I'm sorry if I knocked you there. That must have been really loud. I'll knock the sound out of it in editing. There. So there's some gaps there, and no doubt I'll fill them. Behind the door, hi. Behind the door is, where are you? Okay, there we are. It's that, what was from the other room. There we go, so there's the top. And have you noticed there's fewer things on there other than the boxes, but they are staggered for a reason, because I'm going to get some more of these magazine things. I have a purpose for them. But there are fewer things on there because they're on the shelving. So that's there. And I'll give you a swizzle of the room while we're there. There you go. My husband's still got his his industrial vacuum cleaner up. So alright, so yeah, don't pay too much attention to what's on there and how, apart from, I'll show you that, all this stuff over here, them there, they came from, and some of these here, knitting needles and crochet hooks, they came from that unit there. And then there's this here. So I'm still populating it, and I'm gonna, when we go to IKEA, we're gonna get the fabric boxes, which are like them up there, those ones. So they can go in these spaces here. So far, I've been caking some yarn that hasn't been caked, so I can see how much there is. That's all sock yarn, for instance. So they would be making odd socks. So I'll get there in the end. It's just going to take time. I still haven't unearthed everything from there, but I did injure my thumb. Look at that. Scraped it. I was actually in our bedroom because I knew I had something in a box under the bed. One of them great big plastic boxes, very much like plastic boxes like that. Those type of things. Okay, got another one there but in pink. Those type of boxes. It looks like my battery's running out. I need to plug you in. Hello, I'm back. I hope that footage didn't get severed. No, it was still recording, but the battery symbol was like showing orange and like empty and with a big symbol down it. So I thought I better quit, plug everything in and continue recording. So what I was saying, under our bed we have some boxes like I mentioned. They're pretty good boxes them, but the problem was I put my hand under the bed like that rather than like that, and that's how I got that scratch. At least it's not sore anymore. So there's that. Okay. Anyway, I figured, yeah, and I found this scarf. There's no point in showing it yet because I need to finish the hat and I'll show you it together. But I'd crocheted this scarf ages ago, 2017, and it was always meant to go to my friend as a donation. But I needed to do the hat to go with it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I kept like looking for things when I was passing on to her, and I thought, well, where's that scarf gone? I can't find it. I'm sure I haven't donated it yet because I need to finish that. Well, in my unearthing, I found it among some yarn, but I don't even know why it was there in one of the boxes under my bed. It doesn't make any sense for it to be there, because I would normally put finished objects under the bed in the craft, my other room, which wasn't really a craft room. It was just a fake craft room. Anyway, there's a unit in there. I'll insert a picture. That was something we bought for our bathroom when we first moved in, because we needed a bathroom cupboard, and that was fine. It was on the floor, and I kept things in there, like cleaning stuff and my stuff, and toilet rolls, that kind of thing. But then when we got the bathroom refurbished, because the shower kept leaking like mad, so we ripped the whole thing out and started again. The bath is now under the window, which is where that unit was, and the toilet was no longer in that corner, but it was in the corner where the bath was. So we couldn't put it anywhere, so I bought a tall unit from Marks and Spencer, and that was perfect. So this cupboard went into that room and I started filling it. Of course I would, wouldn't I? But it's going to go in here, and I think it's going to go in the fireplace. Originally I was going to have it sidelong into the room, so it would divide up the room in two bits, but no, I want to create space, so it's going to be open into the room. So it's going to have its back against that fireplace, which it's an empty fireplace. There's nothing, we don't do anything with it, so I might as well just put something in front of it. It'll be fine, and then I can use that cupboard. I'll get there in the end. It's just exhausting, like looking at things, putting things in places and then figuring it out. So I don't know how I'm going to put this. But there have been a couple of things which I've brought from the cupboard downstairs, which is in... There's a toilet downstairs. I call it the tradesman's toilet because that's where we usually send them. If we have workers here doing jobs in the house, that's where we send them if they need the toilet. So it's got a toilet, a sink, and it's got a cupboard, and it's got about 5 shelves, I think, and I had the top 3. But then David wanted to bring stuff from CJ's cupboards, his stuff, not CJ's stuff, into our cupboards. He said, I need a shelf, you need to give up a shelf. So I sorted some stuff out. I was giving a load of stuff to charity, donating stuff to charity shops anyway, stuff I didn't use anymore. And I managed to get down to 2 shelves, but it looks like in a bit I'll be able to get down to 1. I just need to do a couple of things. There's some more yarn down there, I'll bring that up. But in its place, I'll be putting the little doll. If you know from previous videos, I got a reborn doll. Well, after a bit I thought, it doesn't look really enough for me, I like it to look real. And I just fell in love with another one that I saw. I know, it's only a model. So I'll give that other one to my mum because she did ask for it. And so I bought this one. And it's not anatomically correct, but I keep calling it she because it's dressed as a she, but it could be dressed either, which is why it's a model. So I can dress it in boys' clothes I've knitted or crocheted, or girls' clothes. If I ever do baby stuff, there's my model. But she was in the drawer in this room. My son's bed was where that unit is, what my husband built, facing the window, and then at the foot was a drawer unit. And that's where the baby doll was after he left home. Right, and so that's why I put the new one. Except I don't know if they're made differently or something, but I got her out the drawer and I thought, oh my goodness. I mean, it wasn't in direct sunlight, but it was sweating, and it looked like, because I was going to model it a hat. But I thought, if I model that hat on that baby, I'm going to get raked over hot coals, being accused of leaving a very sick baby, taking a picture of a very sick baby, you know. Because it looked like it had been left in the back of a car on a really hot day. So I did clean it, just water, and it looked fine, so I put it in the drawer in the other room. Sweated again. It's like it's sweating, so I thought, before I move it down, I'm going to give it a good clean up again. And it's like its arms, its legs and its head, that's sticky. Luckily the makeup didn't come off it, so that's fine. And then I can put it in the tradesman's the cupboard where the tradesman's toilet is downstairs, because it's the coldest room in the house. We don't put the heating on there, there's no need. And it can go in there until I need it for a model. So I figured that's the best place for it. My goodness me. Anyway, my addies have come from down there and they're up here, both my addies, so that's good. If I want to churn out some hats or something, I can do that. And I have no idea how long this video is. I keep rabbiting, don't I? Well, that's it. I'm going to rest now because I'm exhausted. And hopefully next time I'll be fully in this room. I don't know. The last thing to move over will be my computer, which is why the desk hasn't been put in its actual position yet. It needs to be further forward towards that unit behind the door. The first one I showed you, with all the fabric boxes on it, the whole tower. It's going to be closer to that. And that's when I bring the computer in. There's no point in bringing the computer in now when I'm moving the desk around later. But I need the room from the door wide open and the desk out the way so I can get in and out while I'm just getting the room ready for me. And then finally at the end, move the desk, get the computer in, and that'll be it. And I can breathe a sigh of relief. And I'm not even sat in my proper chair, I'm sat on it's like a stool, but it's outside garden furniture, so it could be a footrest as well. But we actually used to stand on. I used it to stand on so I could put things on the top of shelves because it's so sturdy. I love it. It's this stool here, let me show you. You going for a ride again? Whee! That. Can you see that? There you go. It's really good, that. Anyway, that's my video for this time. I hope you're all alright. And join me next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.